We will be starting the breeding show in 5 minutes. Welcome, everyone. So we're on to day 2 of the sheep show. We're going to be focusing today on the sheep breeding and showmanship. Today's judge is the same judge we had yesterday, Nate Schofield from Langsburg, Michigan. We want to thank him for coming all this way to be our judge the last 2 days. So thank you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get the afternoon started with Class 1, Black-Faced Cross, ewe lambs, born in 2025. Okay.
And we're starting out the gates with a really, really high quality set in this first class out here. I think you can take your pick between these top two, depending on where your breed program's going, what you're trying to do when you're making these ewe lambs out here. For me today, I like the one that's just a shy more unique in the way her front end is assembled. One that's longer in her neck, taller at the point of her shoulder. I think when you get off this three-quarter view, that skinnier, more feminine head and neck really takes the cake for me today. Is she as big as the one that comes in second? No. Does she have as much muscle? No. If you're trying to make wethers, This is the one. The one in second is the one you want to go with. I love the show you look from the side. Her proportionality, the way her underline balances, and the way she flexes and gets across the ring with that front skeleton. Don't get me wrong. This one in second is very, very good in her own right. One that's super opened up, super wide and dimensional. This is our weather maker right here. If you're going back trying to hit these weather shows really, really hard, she can compete against the big boys, and she's going to make some even better ones depending on who you breed her to. That's a very, very fun one to be able to take home. Out here in the show setting for me, I like the one with the better front end for me today. But two very, very nice, very, very elite females to start off this class. The one that comes out next ends up being a very, very good one in her own right. She just comes in a smaller package. I think she balances up super well from the side, is good in the way her neck ties into her shoulder. A really cool progression of width from the side here as her underline and flank is filled out perfectly in my mind. Has a ton of width and dimension, just not as big as the two ahead of her there. A very, very good ewe in her own right sitting in third. I just need a bigger sheep to compete in this class out here today. As we get down here, the lamb that comes out in fourth. Love the length of body on this one. I think this one offers a really cool look in terms of her center body and rib shape. I just need her to proportion just a little bit better. Need to open her up in her upper hip just a little bit more, stouten her up at the ground, make her a little more elite in the way her front end is assembled to be able to compete with the three in front of her. The one that comes out, rounds off this class, one that is functional in her design, her skeleton there. I just need more sheep here. I want her to have more of those show ring qualities. Fix her muscle shape just a little bit as well, but a good one in her own design. Let's give them all a really nice round of applause. A great first class.
Congratulations. So in this Class 1 Blackface Cross class, first place goes to Tough McAfee, CUNA FFA. Second place to Madison Adams of Ridgeview FFA. Coming in now is Class 2 Blackface Cross.
I love the look and design of the one that starts off this class. I think this one is dead level about its spine. Really cool in the way that one's front end is put together. You match that with the fact this one's wide, opened up about her rib shape, massive in her upper hip, and gets around the ring good enough for me. A really cool place to start this class. The one that comes out in second follows the type and kind, I think, most closely the one that wins this class. Love her neck set. I think that one ties in right at the top of her shoulder, opens up into a big mid-rib, one that I think we just need to open up just a little more in her upper hip there. I need to stouten her up at the ground as well. Get a little bigger foot and bone on her, as well as just reassemble the way her hock lays into her hind leg, and she's got just a little too much set for me today, but a really, really cool one. Absolutely love the front 2/3 on this one. As we get down to the one in third here, one that's very practical in her design, opened up in a rib shape. I think this one has a big enough hip for me today. I think that top side of her skeleton is really, really good. It's that lower part of her skeleton. I need to see more muscle into her lower leg. I need to stouten her up at the ground. Give her just a little more angle to her blade and her hock to let this one be able to compete with the two ahead of her. The one that comes out next, another one that's super functional in her design about her midrib there. I like the added foot and bone, the fuzz that this one has. I got to rearrange her skeleton a little bit, though. We're tying too low out of the front side of her skeleton. She wants to get too high and tight about her spine, too short-hipped for me today. The one that will round off this class, I think this one puts together a nice skeleton and a balanced level look from the side. I just need more sheep here. Ends up being the smallest one in class out here. We can get a little more grow out of her. She'd be able to compete just a little bit more. Let's give them all a big round of applause. A really nice ULAM class.
Congratulations. Okay, so the results of Class 2 Blackface Cross. First place goes to Allie Klaus of Farm to Table. Second place goes to Callie Losh of CUNA FFA. Now in the class we have, or now in this group, we've got Class 3 Blackface Cross.
A pretty quick and easy sort for me out here. I think the one that wins this class does so really quickly. I love watching her get across the ring. Dead level about her spine. Really cool in the way she carries her head in that cocky angle as she gets across the ring here. Show this one down, she looks good. Show it in front of her, she looks good. It's a good sheep all around right there. The one that comes out next kind of follows that type and kind of that first class there. One that comes in second is more of a weather producer in my mind. I think this one is real bold and ripped up about her center body. Ton of muscle and shape on this one. Just comes a little bit of detriment to her build just a little bit. She wants to get a little more vertical about her blade. One that gets a little awkward about the way her center body fits into her front end there. One that wants to get up in her jump muscle is a little too short in her cannons for me today. Add some more grow, put a little more flex in her joints. I think she competes with the one really well because I love the muscularity on this one. The one that comes out here third is the one I think next best balances from the side. One that I love, that lower rib shape. Such a good turn to that lower rib. We just got to match that everywhere else. So I need a bigger sheep here. One that's more opened up in her upper hip, pushes more muscle into her lower leg. I'd love to see this one a little stouter at the ground, but I think her center body is very, very productive. Can go down the line, keep her on feet. I think you could breed her next year pretty easily. The one that comes out next, I like the style and the design on this one. I think this one is dead level in her spine. One that's level out through her hip as well. We just need to have some more groceries on this one. Get her some good feed and water when you get back home. Get this one fed up to about 120, 130 pounds. I think you have a really, really nice sheep out here that can compete. We're just too green for me today. I need to have more sheep here. Same story for the one that will round off this class. One that ends up just being the smallest one in class here. I think she's practical about her lower rib shape there. One that I just need a bigger animal to be able to compete out here. Let's give them all a really big round of applause.
Congratulations. Okay, so for Class 3 Blackface Cross, first place goes to Kennedy Ashfield, CUNA FFA. Second place goes to Rachel Gepford, Parma FFA. Congratulations. And now we're on to the division runoff, Class 4 Blackface Crosses.
Really, really good drive for the crosses out here. I think this front line is exactly what I'm trying to find in my ULAMs. Ones that are really elite, really cool about their front ends there, that balance super well from the side. Ones that have enough spread and dimension to them that if you get a weather out of them, they're going to be able to go out and compete in any market class you got, as well as ones that are built really, really well. They give you that Showlam look from the side, have some of those extra pieces, that extra fuzz, a little better angle to their shoulder, level out through their hip, very progressive about their underline. I think this front line is very, very good. We're going to stay in it for Grand and Reserve. Let's give them all a really big round of applause. I'll show you who I like.
Okay, congratulations. So for our division runoff, Blackface Cross champion is Kennedy Ashfield of CUNA FFA, and for reserve went to Tough McAfee, CUNA FFA. Congratulations. Next, we'll have Class 5 Dorsets.
Just two of them out here for this Dorset class. I think there's a clear decision in quality, and the one that wins, one that I think just balances really, really well from the side, gets around the ring and is extremely coordinated as he gets across in motion, one that stays dead level in his spine, is organized about his footwork, gives you a beautiful look from the profile right there. Now the one that comes out in second, I think this one is super wide at the base of its skeleton, super bold in its rib shape. I just want to organize this one in motion just a little bit better. One that wants to get a little awkward about where she's going to take her next step. If we can get her a little more in line with the skeleton on each step, get her across the ring organized like that, I think her body shape is really good, can be productive for the young lady. Let's give them all a big round of applause.
Okay, so results for Class 5 Dorset. First place goes to Tough McAfee CUNA FFA. Second place goes to Chloe Betts of Meridian FFA. Congratulations. And now coming in the ring, we have Class 6 Dorset.
Another pretty quick decision for me out here. The young lady brings out another one that's just real cool about its build and design. One that's elite in that front end construction. Dead level about her spine. I like how much muscle and mass is packed inside of this one's skeleton. Real bold about her rib shape. A ton of muscle when you get in behind her. The one that comes out next, I think this one's flexible about its lower joints really well. Uses the full range of its hock and pastern to get around the ring. One that actually has some spread over top side of its skeleton. Just from the side, I want to reorganize it just a little bit. Level out its hip, pick up its chest floor, and drop that one's flank to give it a really cool look from the side. But a really nice one will be productive. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Congratulations. Okay, so for Class 6 Dorset, first place goes to Madison Adams, Ridgeview FFA. Second place to Dallin Kemp, Snake River Livestock. Congratulations. Yes, so now we have Class 7, which is the division runoff.
I think we got two really, really nice ones out here in this front line of this Dorset division. I think the one up front, I think she's a little more mature in her body pattern. One that is a shot older, but I think really, really cool when you talk about center body, the way she balances from the side, that swoop to her flank. One that I think ties in right at the top of her shoulder, stays level enough out through her spine. I think she gets more flex and reach out of her joints there as you get her in motion. Now the younger one that comes out in second is a fresher, more shapely option. She's square over the top side of her skeleton. I think she's bolder about her rib shape, especially when you study that forerib area. She meets that forerib right into her shoulder, whereas the one out of that first class kind of comes in just a little bit more. She's got more stoutness and power when you get right in behind her on this three-quarter view. Is she the best about her lower skeleton when you compare her to the one in the first class? No, not necessarily. She wants to get just a shot straighter about her hock and her pastern there than the one that comes out of that first class there. But I think two very, very good animals out here. Let's give them a round of applause. I'll show you guys which one I like for Grand.
Congratulations. So for Class 7 Dorset runoff, we had champion went to Madison Adams of Ridgeview FFA. Congratulations. And reserve went to Tough McAfee, CUNA FFA. Good job. Now on to Class 8 Hampshires.
I think another class of two very nice ewes that actually, depending on how you wanna run your priorities, you might be able to switch them around a little bit. But for me today, the one that ties in higher out of her shoulder offers a better angle of her blade. Is the one that's going to win this class. She's got enough power and shape for me as well. I think this one balances just a shot better from the side, maintains that underline just a little more naturally than the one that comes out here in second. I also think her head and neck is a bit more feminine out here as well. Take nothing away from the one in second here. Big square back on this one. Super massive, super round in rib shape. One that might not transition from her loin into her hip quite as well as the one that ends up winning this class. She wants to get up in that jump muscle just a little bit, as well as this one wants to get just a shot more vertical about her hind leg than the one that comes out and wins this class. I'd like to lengthen out her neck, make that front end just a little more up and out for me today. But two very nice ones that can both go back, be very productive for the young people out here.
Okay, congratulations. So in Class 8 Hampshire, first place goes to Connor McAfee, CUNA FFA. Second place goes to Jovi Brunmeyer of Homedale FFA. Now walking in the ring, we have Class 9 Hampshire.
Just two of them out here, and the ewe lamb that comes out win this class. I think this one's flexible off either end of her skeleton. One that's super wide and dimensional over the top side of her skeleton there. One that's wide at the ground as well, that carries that width up top all the way down for her. Gives you a really nice look from the profile here. Offers more mass and dimension when you get right off of that three-quarter view than the one that comes out in second. Now, the one that comes out in second, I love the hide quality on this one. I think her long feminine neck is something to really be fond of in this class. It just happens she is a smaller designed one. It doesn't have as much grow as the one out in front of it there. I wish we could level out this one's hip, especially when you get in motion. If she wants to duck her pins just a little more than what I'm comfortable with today, need to give her a shot more power off that three-quarter view as well. But two really nice ewes. Let's give them a round of applause.
Okay, so for the results of Class 9 Hampshire, first place went to Brooke Gardner, Bad Company. Second to Luke Volkers, Napa FFA. So now for Class 10 Hampshire, we have the division runoff.
A really nice set of hamps we got out here. I think there's two of them that come out, just hit the ring really hard, being real stout in their feature and bone work. Ones that are designed super, super good from the side. Ones that can take any flock and take them one step farther than where they are currently. We'll keep those two out of that first class together for Granite Reserve.
Okay, nice job. So, for the division runoff for Class 10 Hampshire, we have for champion, we've got Connor McAfee, CUNA FFA. Reserve went to Jovi Brunmeyer of Homedale FFA. Good job.
Sorry, did I say tough?
Okay, so now we're on to Class 11 Naturals.
Well, we found the toughest class of the day so far, and I think these top three, even four, all the way down through the class, this is a really, really good set of natural U's out here. And I haven't seen a set this deep in a long time. Young lady brings out a super, super cool one, and she is absolutely showing the wheels off of this thing because in motion, this is not my favorite one out here. I think this one gets a little too short striding for me. She wants to push her chest down too much for me. And I wish she kept this look when you put her in motion. But right here, this one doesn't get beat very easily anywhere in the country, I think. I think she is dead level in her spine. Super cool about that front end. Really good about her hip. And her hip and hind leg have that right angle when they're propped up heel. Here, she just gets a little straight for me in motion, which made that decision just a little more difficult for me. But a really, really great job. Taking nothing away from the one that comes out here in second. I think this one does maintain its build and design, that what you see right here is what you get in motion. I think this one, again, another one that's dead level about her spine. This one has a ton of mass and power to her. Love the curvature to her rib shape. I love how much muscle she puts into her lower leg at turn to her stifle. For me today, I think she gets a little too open at the base of her blade there. One that doesn't necessarily progress in her width as good as the one that comes out ahead of her there. As she gets just a shot more parallel in her lines, I love to drop her flank just a little bit more, give her a little more of that spring down to her lower stomach there. But a really, really cool one that I want to lengthen her hip just a shot more as well. But the young man shows the wheels off this one too. A very, very good top set of U's. As you can tell from yesterday, I'm real fond of my naturals, and these two just brought out some really, really good ones. The young lady that brings out a really cool one again in third, one that is wild shaped in terms of her back and her rib there. One that I think balances super well from the side, has that underline that I'm looking for. And it's really hard to get them in these naturals. They're naturally a harder body type sheep. Where my issue comes with this one is in her rear third. Her hip is not as big and it's opened up, doesn't blend into her massive back as well as the ones ahead of her. There, one that I'd love to stouten up at the ground as well. Give her just a shot more foot and bone, but a really cool one in third as well. The one that comes out in fourth, equally as impressive when you want to talk about body, center body. I think this one's upper hip is more opened up than the one that comes out ahead of it there. For me today, this one just gets too bulky about her shoulder, a little more easy in her top. One that I wish we could strengthen her top just a bit more. Let that one's hip and hind leg have just a little more flex and bend for me out here. One that I wish we could just organize a little bit better. Maybe take a couple pounds off her to freshen her up just a shot as well. The one that comes out here next, one that, again, I think has a lot of practical design to her center body. One that I like the added foot and bone she brings. She just comes and goes too narrow for me today. One that I got to stouten up, add more shape and dimension, add more just genuine shape over top, square her up, make her hip just a shot bigger as well. The one that rounds off this class, another one that's practical about her mid-rib and body design, one that just needs to blend, just smoother through her transitions from her shoulder into her rib shape and then from her rib up into her hip. Make those transitions just a little smoother, and she's a really good one for the young lady. Let's give them all a big round of applause. A really, really nice class of naturals.
Okay, so for Class 11 Naturals, first place goes to Addie Cortez, Bad Company. Second goes to Tice Fisher, Homedale FFA. Congratulations. And now coming in the ring, we have Class 12 Naturals.
We get the smaller ones out here, and I think the one that starts off this class just really cool in terms for shape and dimension. A more youthful one than we had in that last class there, but I think she is very hard to the touch. Has a ton of shape about her top side of her skeleton. Carries that shape and that width all the way back through her hip. Pushes a ton of muscle into her lower leg, but from the side, I think this one props up the best, is the most organized about her skeleton, offers you the best look when you get on that profile there. The one that comes out next, I think I like the added grow that this one has. Love the length of cannon bone on this one. I think she's got a ton of shape. I absolutely love her loin and the way that sits into her. I think that is a very, very valuable part about her, as her transition from her rib into her loin up into her hip is a very, very smooth transition. The one that comes out here next ends up just being the smallest one in class here. I think she's got some ribs. She's got some body shape. She's square about her upper hip. I just need a bigger sheep to be able to come out here and compete. Need to stouten her up at the ground as well. Just give her a shot more bone. Really nice class. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Okay, so for Class 12 Naturals, first place goes to Brett Losh of CUNA FFA. Second place, Tegan Wolf of Little Explorers. Congratulations. Next class is going to be Class 13 Naturals.
I think this class sorts out pretty quickly in my mind. I love the one that comes out and wins this class. I think she is so square and dimensional over the top side of her skeleton, massive about her upper hip, but gives you the best look of balance and put together from the side. I think this is a cool one that just got to get some more time under this one to show you the true potential that this one has. The one that comes out next, this one's ripped up and powerful. Love the shape and the squareness over the top of its skeleton. Love how muscular that upper hip is. I just want to organize this one skeletally a little bit different. Rock her blade back, just shot, level her out, square her through her hip, get her about a vertebrae shorter there too, just to make that all look together and put together out here. The one that comes out next actually gives you a nice look from the side, one that's balanced, looks good dead level about his spine, one that just doesn't have enough power out here for me today. I need more sheep here to be able to compete, keep her on feed, keep showing her. I think she's got a lot of potential ahead of her. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Okay, so the results for Class 13 Naturals, first place goes to Emma Cooper of Valley View 4-H. And then for second place, we have Caitlin Sutherland of Meridian FFA. Congratulations. Now coming into class is the division runoff, Class 14.
Well, I think there's just two of them out here. It's a horse race, and these two are Seabiscuit and Secretariat out here. Those two out of the first class are very, very good. We're going to keep them granted reserve in the natural division.
Okay, class 14 results, natural for the runoff. Champion went to Addie Cortez, Bad Company. Reserve, Tice Fisher of Homedale FFA. Congratulations. Okay, so now we're on to class 15, South Downs.
Two really nice South Downs come out here, and I think just structurally it gets separated for me. I think the one up front is just more elite in the way this one gets around the ring, holds his skeleton in place as she's going across in motion, is more up and out about her front end as well, is more ideal in the way she uses her hock and passion as she plants and pushes across the ring. The one that comes out next, I think her center body is absolutely wild. That lower rib shape is super, super cool. I think when you get her propped up, I think that head and neck actually tying right to the front end of her skeleton. A really cool uplift to her chest floor there. One that I just got to fix when you get her in motion. One that wants to drive her chest floor down too much for me out here, and one that doesn't get the motion out of her hock. She just got a little too much set to her hock there, as it makes her a little awkward out of her hind end as she get her across the ring. But two really nice youths. They'll be very productive. Let's give them a round of applause.
Okay, so results for class 15 South Downs. First place goes to Addie Cortez of Bad Company. Second place goes to Riata Higby of Saddle Tramps 4-H Club. Congratulations. Now on to class 16 South Downs.
I got two little downs out here. I think they're both very good in their own right. Young lady brings out one that I'm just a little more comfortable with in motion. I think she gets more range and flex out of her hip and hind leg than the one that comes out here in second. And to get this one propped up, I think she's longer and leveler throughout her hip. The one that comes out in second, though, while yes, she is a significant amount smaller than the one that comes out in first, I think she balances super well from the side, has a lot of potential. We just got to get her to be a little bit bigger, get some more grow on her as well to be competitive in this class. But two really, really nice ones. Let's give the young ladies a good round of applause.
Results for class 16. First place goes to Oakley Heathecker of Saddle Tramps 4-H Club. Second to Cheyenne Roleg of Valley View 4-H. Congratulations. And now on to class 17, we have the South Down runoff.
I think four very good representations of the Southdown breed out here. I think they all give you that really good high quality look from the side that you come to expect from the breed like this. I think there is a couple out here that just have some more unique differences, a really nice handle to them, ones that get around the ring really smooth and efficiently. Let's give them all a round of applause. I'll show you guys which ones I like for Grand Reserve.
Congratulations. Okay, so results of Class 17 for the Southdown runoff. Champion goes to Addie Cortez, Bad Company. Reserve goes to Oakley Heathecker of Saddle Tramps 4-H Club. Congratulations.
You know what would make Olaf better?
So next we have Class 18, Suffolk. Okay, we want to extend a special thank you to the College of Western Idaho for their sponsorship of the CWI show ring. You can catch CWI on site Friday, July 24th from 1 to 4 p.m. behind the CWI show ring bleachers to learn about the CWI agriculture program expansion and enter to win a $1,000 Score Big scholarship. The scholarship announcement will be made at 4 p.m. today, so don't miss out.
Two really nice ones that come out here for the Suffolk breed. One that's not necessarily as popular anymore, but my dad used to raise them back in the 80s, so they've always had a little soft spot in my heart. I love the one that offers the most genuine breed characteristic out here. I love the Suffolk head, the long ears on this one. I think this one has a ton of shape. I love the rib shape on this one. And structurally, I think this one gets put together from this side the best in this class out here. One that comes out here next, one that I just want to rearrange a little bit structurally. Level out her hip just a shot, make her a little cleaner through her chest floor and the way her neck ties into her shoulder there. But I think she's got some shape. She's got some potential to go be productive for the young lady. Let's give these two a big round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 18 Suffolk. First place goes to Sophia Badia of Middleton FFA. Second place goes to Gracie Wilhite of Lucky Spurs Livestock. Next, we have Class 19, Whiteface Cross.
An elite female that comes out here for this white face cross division. I think she is a wild, good looking from the side. Maintains her structure when you put her in motion as well. Young lady does a great job getting this one propped up, getting her shown to be at an elite level like this. Young man's you that comes out next. One I think that's very productive about her body style and her rib shape there. One that I think balance is good enough from the side for a production you out here. I just got to rearrange her skeleton, make it a little more appropriate for a show ring aspect, stouten her feature a little bit, pull her neck set up and out of front of her skeleton. But as far as going out, having lambs and being able to sell those lambs off, I think she's a great project for the young man. Let's give him a round of applause.
Okay, Class 19 results for the white face cross. Kennedy Ashfield, CUNA FFA, first place. Second place, Mac Holmes of Meridian FFA. Congratulations. Now walking in, we have Class 20 white face cross.
A pretty quick spot to start in my class, just the one that comes and goes with the most width and dimension. I think she's super square and hard handling over the top side of her skeleton, gives you an extremely balanced look from the side. If I'm going to get real picky on her, I'd want her just to step a little square as you get her in motion, as she's favoring the outsides of her toes as you get her across the ring there. But I think one that puts herself together really well from the side. The one that comes out next here, one that I almost favor in motion, she's stepping square on her paws as you get her across the ring here. One that's wide and dimensional about her rib shape. It's just this last third here. I need to open up, be bigger about her upper hip, open her up in her pin set to be able to balance across, as well as the one that comes out and wins this class. The young man's little you that comes out next, actually super square over the top side of her skeleton, wide and dimensional. One that I just need some more grow on this one. Lengthen out her cannon bones, give her a few more weeks on feet here to make her be real competitive, but a really nice one. It's got a ton of shape and expression. The one that we'll round off this class with, one that I think is flexible off either end of her skeleton. We just got to open this one up. There's not enough sheep here for me today. Got to be square and bigger in her rib shape. Got to open her way up in her hip there. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Okay, so the results of Class 20 Whiteface Cross. First place goes to Natalia Gemmitt of Parma FFA. Second place to Charity Kent of Bad Company. Congratulations. Class 21 will be the next class of Whiteface Cross, and this will be the division runoff.
Well, I think you look at this front lineup here. I think these two are very good representation of show lambs across the country right now. I think there's one out here that's just spectacular in the way she's put together and designed, and I think there's a reserve out here that follows her very nicely in type and kind. Let's give them a big round of applause. I'll show you which way I put them.
Congratulations. So for Class 21 Y-Face Cross Division Runoff, champion goes to Kennedy Ashfield of CUNA FFA, reserve to Natalia Gemmet of Parma FFA. Congratulations. Class 22 will be coming in the ring next, and that is for all other breeds.
Oh, round off here with some piebalds out here, and I think that one that starts off this class is very, very good. I think she is so wide and dimensional about her rib shape. You can see how tucked up that rib is into her skeleton there. Just from the profile, she handles as good as she looks as well. Gets around the ring really well. She keeps her spine level and in her. A really, really cool representation of the piebald breed. The one that comes out here next, what I would consider more of a traditional representation of the piebalds, one that I think has a lot of rib, a lot of productivity to that center portion of her body. I just want to fix her off either end of her skeleton. Square up her hip a little bit, make that neck come more out of the top of her skeleton there. I think she's very nice in her own right. One of the better piebalds I've had the pleasure of being able to see this year. Let's give them both a good round of applause.
Okay, results of Class 22, all other breeds. First place goes to Avery Fleming. Of Snake River Livestock. And second place to Cooper Fleming of Snake River Livestock. Congratulations. Now in the ring we have Class 23, all other breeds.
A really cool lamb that comes out here. One that I think is wide and dimensional about her upper skeleton. One that balances super well from the side. A stout-featured one. It's practical in their design as you get her across the ring. The young man brings out a really square and shapely ewe. One that's really fun to get your hands on as she's wide over top of her skeleton. Carries that width all the way out through her hip. Just when we get this one propped up. Wants to get a little lower fronted for me today. Doesn't balance up as she gets up in her flank just a little more. Rounds off in her hip. But really cool from a muscle standpoint. Let's give them both a really big round of applause.
Okay, results for Class 23, all other breeds. First place goes to Harper Matiag of Red Top Wranglers. Second goes to Dallin Kemp of Snake River Livestock. Congratulations. Next class will be our Supreme Drive.
Danny, do you want to ask him if you want to take a break?
Really nice division out here. I think there's two ewe lambs in the front here that just give you a really good representation of the breeds they're coming out of here. Ones that have some width dimension, have the internal capacity to be able to carry lambs, and as you get them across the ring, they balance up really well. I'll show you guys which order I like them. Let's give them all a big round of applause.
Okay, so for this last class, all other breeds runoff. Champion went to Avery Fleming of Snake River Livestock, and reserve went to Harper Matigag of Red Top Wranglers. Congratulations. So now we're going to move on to the Supreme Drive.
After the drive,
And after the drive, we're going to take a 15-minute break for pictures
before we get into show.
before we get into showmanship.
I think this is an extremely nice representation of ewes out here. And to be quite honest, if I had a flock looking like this front line out here, I'd be a lot richer man than what I am currently. I think there's some very, very nice ewes out here that anybody should be real happy to take home after this. And if I had the money, I'd try to buy all of them if I could, because I think there is a very, very elite set out here. I think they all give you that look from the side that with those showland proportions, style featured ones that all tie their necks real high out of the top side of their skeleton, dead level about their spines, but then you get in behind them. I don't think anybody can be upset with how much mass and spread we have about rib shapes. We're pushing a lot of muscle into our lower legs out here. I think we have a very nice spread of ewes. I think we give them all a really big round of applause. I'll show you guys which ones I like for Grand and Reserve.
Okay, so Supreme champion was Addie Cortez. Reserve went to Kennedy Ashfield. Congratulations. Pictures will now be taken over by the backdrop, and we'll resume in about 15 minutes. Okay. So pictures are going to be by the outside backdrop by the beef barn. Want to take a moment to give a big Canyon County thank you to the College of Western Idaho for their sponsorship of the CW show ring here at the Canyon County Fair. Okay, so in just a bit, when the judge comes back from taking pictures, we will go ahead and begin with the first class of showmanship. And I want to give a big Canyon County thank you to the College of Western Idaho for their sponsorship of the CWI show ring here at the Canyon County Fair. Our show ring today is sponsored by CWI, and want you to be sure to visit them on site until 4 p.m. today and enter to win the $1,000 scholarship, which will be announced at 4 p.m. This is just a 5-minute call before we start the showmanship class, class 1 of FFA. Okay, we're getting started. First class of showmanship, we have class 1 FFA. Okay, and we want to take a minute to recognize our. Okay, so we want to take a minute, real quick minute, to recognize one of our sponsors for the Supreme Champion U and the Reserve Champion U. So we want to thank Fisher Club Lambs. We really do appreciate your support of the exhibitors. And now in the ring, we have FFA Showmanship.
So we'll kind of move through showmanship here, a rather efficient pace. We've already seen all these exhibitors come out, show me what you can do. And for me, I'll take into consideration what you've done in the past and what I've seen you do the first couple times you came out, what you do now. Because for me, I think showmanship is pretty transitive between the market class, breeding ewes, and showmanship. The biggest things I'm looking for out here, who can get stuck the quickest, stay stuck the longest, and who can make their animal look the best. And I think, yes, there is a difference in how you show in market and in showmanship. But the goal at the end of the day is making the animal look the best. And in sheep, you can manipulate that animal in a lot of different ways to make these animals look their best, hide the flaws in them. And the best showmen are the ones that can make a bad sheep look good and a good sheep look great. I think these four are great representations of what I'm trying to find all day long for showmanship out here. They do a really good job. They're quick, efficient. Their sheep look really, really good set up. Just a couple things in those exiting the ring. Make sure we're walking around the ring at a really nice pace. Make sure you and your lamb are working together. If your lamb's moving around, not staying stuck for you, I promise you won't get a pull out here. Just a couple other things just in this class alone. When someone gets pulled in front of you, make sure you're filling that space, keeping everyone down at this end of the ring here. A really nice first class for FFA Showmanship. Let's give them all a really big round of applause.
Okay, so coming back to the final drive for FFA Showmanship would be Connor McAfee, Tice Fisher, Sophia Badia, and then Kennedy Ashfield. Now in the ring, we have Class 2 of FFA Showmanship. Hey, seniors, do you want to win some money, seniors? We don't want you to miss out on this opportunity to win $1,000 to College of Western Idaho. They're located right behind the stands here, and so go check them out and enter to win $1,000 for a big scholarship.
We'll keep 3 out of this class out here. A couple other pointers on this class that I'm seeing out here. When we're getting these animals walking across the ring, I need those heads right up at the top of their skeleton. Make sure those lambs are walking into your hand. You got that hand out in front of you. You're walking with that sheep. You two look like a pair even when you're moving across the ring out here. This class specifically, I saw a lot of heads dropping down in front, us trying to push those lambs along, or lambs are getting too far out in front of us there, as well as another really kind of pet peeve thing of mine, but I like it when a showman's sitting more on the front of their animal rather than the side out here. As long as your lamb looks good, I'm not going to really count it against you. But if we're getting to some really picky things out here, which I think we will come close to the final drive, it's going to be little things like that that make the difference for me today. Let's give them a good round of applause. A really nice class.
Okay, so Class 2 FFA, we're going to have CJ Hust from Melba FFA, Brett Lausch of CUNA FFA, and Palmer Ashfield of CUNA FFA will be coming back in for the final drive. Now coming into the ring, we have Class 3 FFA.
We're going to just keep these two gentlemen out here. Biggest thing we got across the line over here is we're getting these heads pulled too far forward out here. We need to make sure when we're lined up in a profile like this that these heads and necks are vertical up and down to their shoulder. Their spines are dead level. And when we're pulling those lambs kind of up and over our hip just a little bit, it really throws off the look and the balance that I'm trying to find out here in these showmen. I think these two gentlemen do a great job. Let's give them a round of applause. We'll see them come back for the final drive.
Okay, so those returning for the final runoff for Class 3 FFA will be Liam Klaus and Tuff McAfee, both of CUNA FFA. Now in the ring we have Class 4 FFA.
We're just going to keep these two young ladies over here. They do a great job. Just a couple things out here. Make sure when we're getting these lambs propped up that we're getting a nice drive out of them. Getting them to brace into us, getting them to naturally run uphill. But we don't want them to drive too hard that they're over bracing. They get those spines up just a little bit. But we need them driving enough that we're not losing our spines out. I don't want it to look like you and your lamb are just kind of sitting there. We got to have you two both working just as hard as each other together out here. Make it look like we have a really cool team, just the two of you out here. Let's give them a big round of applause to another really nice class.
Okay, so coming back in the final runoff for Class 4 FFA, we have Jovi Brunmeyer of Homedale FFA and Abigail Johansson of Valley View FFA coming back. Next up, we have Class 5 FFA.
So in an hour. What time is it supposed to be over?
Okay, so if you know of a senior that could use some money to go to college, CWI's got a chance for a senior to enter and win a $1,000 score big scholarship. So they're located right behind the grandstands. Go check it out. They're located in Napa, and a great way for a senior to get $1,000. They're going to be selecting that winner in just about an hour. So if you know of a senior, get them over there to sign up.
Well, we're going to keep these two coming back out here. Just some basic things out here. I'm not a guy that's going to come out here and try to trick you with where I'm moving or what I'm doing out here. That if I'm walking a direction, I'm going to go to that side of the sheep. If I look like I'm going to go and cross the back side of the sheep, I'm probably going to go across the backside of the sheep. So I like it when a showman can anticipate my movements, keep that land between me and you. And then a couple times in this class, I just want us to be a little more accurate on these feet placements. Make sure we're paying enough attention to our animal, that animal is set in a square pattern every time when we get them put together. And just those couple little things, make sure you're paying attention to me, make sure you're paying attention to the animal just as well. I think these two young ladies did the best in this class. Let's give them a round of applause. We'll get them out of here.
Okay, in Class 5 FFA, those that are going to be returning will be Riley Squibb of Valley View FFA, and then Natalia Gemmett of Parma FFA. Next to the ring, we have Class 6 FFA.
We'll grab these three over here. Again, just other things that I've been hitting on all day. Make sure you're paying attention to your lamb. Make sure those feet are placed exactly where they need to be. I enjoy the eye contact intensity and everything like that, but if your animal doesn't look good and you give me that look like you're ready to go and your lamb isn't, that just tells me you're not paying enough attention to your lamb, and it's a real quick key for you not to get the pull out here. But a really nice job by these three out here. You guys do a really nice job. Let's give them a round of applause. We'll see them come back out for the final drive.
Okay, so results of Class 6 FFA, those coming back for the final runoff. We have Max Holm of Meridian FFA and Bailey Fowler of Middleton FFA. And lastly, we have Rachel Gephardt of Parma FFA. Next, we have Class 7 FFA.
We'll keep these two out of this class. I think the biggest point in this class that I'm seeing kind of across the board is hand placement. Being specific about where your hands are on this animal. Make sure you're not hiding more than you need to, because if you would have listened to me talk to ewes, I love seeing that head and neck and seeing how long and extended those front ends are. If we got our hands really covering the side of the face, even around the neck, around the back side of the neck there, it really distracts me from seeing how good your sheep can actually be out here. If you got a question on hand placement, find somebody that's made the cutout here, ask them, how do you have your hands, and then copy them. It's a real easy thing and a small thing to change, but it makes a really big difference to a judge's eye. Let's give them all a big round of applause. We'll see them come back out here.
Okay, results of class number 7 FFA. Those coming back for the final runoff in this class will be Rory Husted of Melba FFA and Callie Losh of CUNA FFA.
We will go into our first class of novice.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move into our first class of novice for class 8.
And then it will be followed by the FFA drive.
We're going to keep these three over here. I think they're doing an outstanding job. They're keeping the land between me and them the entire time out here. I absolutely love the eye contact. And what I really appreciate about these three over here, they're getting after it. And they're getting these lambs set and stuck before they're giving me that look. Making sure those lambs are set up right where they need to be. I absolutely love seeing that at an age like this. There's just a couple over here, a couple lambs that don't want to behave out here. And just a couple times we're getting these feet a little too far out of place for me that if we just keep working at it and getting these lambs set up the way we want them to, I'd rather see the effort being put in to get a lamb stuck rather than just staring me down at this point. Because it lets me know that you care about the animal you're showing and you're not just coming out here to stare down a judge. So a really nice job out here. Let's give them all a really big round of applause.
Okay, so coming back for the final drive for novice class. In class 1, we have Jackson Parrott from Bad Company, Charlotte Pike from Caveman Critters, and Oren Wolfkeel of Lucky Spur Livestock.